Nation, and welcome to the halfway point. Halfway point is the end of the first 6 months, because the main part of my YouTube channel is movie reviews, current movie reviews. That's what I push through the most, I believe. That's what, if anything else is coming out, current movie reviews is the priority on this YouTube channel. I have other things I like talking about, but this is the priority. And since it's June, we are at the halfway point. That means there's only 6 months left of movies for the year of 2024. Every year I do a top 10 movies of the year so far. These are movies that I've really enjoyed. I think I've seen about 20-something movies, maybe more, maybe less. And so I always like doing this because it gives me like a little sneak peek at what I really enjoy the first 6 months and what I'm hoping to see in the next 6 months. To be honest with you, I don't really know off the top of my head what else is coming out this year. I'll probably look it up before I end this video. So let's begin the top 10 video. My number 10 is a movie that I really struggled with, because my 1 through 9 were all locksteaded. I was very happy with the selection of those movies. But 10, I was like, what the hell do I put at 10? And I'm going with this one, and it was between this and another one, which I will reveal. My number 10 is The Ministry of Ungently Gentlemen. This is a film that you have these guys that are from the British government. They're from Britain. They're guys that kind of play loose with the laws, based off stories that inspired James Bond, about a man who actually inspired the character that Ian Fleming inspired. There's even a character called I think Sergeant Fleming in the movie, which is really, really cool, because I was like, wait, that's the guy that was James Bond, the guy who wrote James Bond. That's kind of cool. I wonder if that's connected. It's connected. The action's cool. The characters are cool. The setup, the British like heist kind of setup where they're trying to destroy the submarine for Nazis. And the guy that played Churchill was a little cartoony, but I can get over that. So yeah, this movie was really enjoyable. It's a movie that I didn't know anything about, and that's always a good thing. If I don't ever hear about it, watch a movie and then enjoy the hell out of it. So yeah, that's why it's at number 10. The other movie that was a potential 10 was Bad Boys for Life. I really enjoyed Bad Boys for Life, but I think Ministry is a little better. So at number 9, I'm going with Civil War. Civil War is that new Alex Garland film where the country is divided into two or three parts, and you follow what's her face, I can't remember what her name is, as she's trying to watch the fall of Washington D.C. and the fall of the United States government. The scary part about this movie is that it feels like this could actually happen, and it's kind of like a horror movie where you think, oh, this could actually happen. This is something that could actually happen. It's kind of scary of how true some of the stuff could be. So I really liked the movie, and also I just like the journey. I love journalistic stuff like this, and I think they did a really good job with this movie. So yeah, Civil War at 9, it's a very solid pick. At number 8, I'm going with Abigail. Abigail is a movie directed by the guys that did Scream and Ready or Not. This is a little girl. She's a vampire. These part of this heist, they capture her, don't realize what she actually is, and she just goes on a murder spree. Something about watching the little kids do severely violent things I always found enjoyable, and I don't know why. I always think back to like Kick-Ass with Hit Girl, and I think this one is a very good film. It's very bloody, it's very actiony, and then some of the characters are really cool as well. I really enjoyed this one. It's one worth checking out. At number 7, I'm going with Mean Girls. Mean Girls was, I believe, the first movie I saw in 2024, and I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed Mean Girls, because I like Mean Girls, the original Lindsay Lohan. Do I think the original is better? More likely. But one thing I did like was I felt how fresh it is, and I really liked the musical numbers. And that's how you sell a musical number. I guess a thing in the 2020s is, let's take a story that's already established and make it a musical. Okay, cool. So yeah, Mean Girls is great. The characters they have playing from the original characters, and seeing the older teacher characters come back to play the same characters was really, really cool. So Mean Girls is definitely a movie that I really liked, and I can't believe it was actually good, because coming out in January, you never know, but lately January's not been that bad. So my number 6 is Monkey Man. Monkey Man is a movie directed and starring Dev Patel. It's a very Indian action movie. It feels like The Raid, mixed with a little John Wick, with a little Jason Bourne, just because of all the shaky cam. And this is a movie definitely that I really did enjoy. I thought the action was shot really good. The story lacked a little bit, but I still really did enjoy the film. So yeah, this one I really, really like. My number 5 is the last movie I saw in theaters, and that is The Bike Riders. The Bike Riders is a movie that has Tom Hardy. He's the leader of this bike gang, which first off starts off as an appreciation of people that like bikes. Then it turns into, we do a little more shady stuff, and then after the 70s hit and guys coming in from Vietnam, we see a lot more drugs, a lot more gang activity, and then it's basically inspired by the Outlaws MC. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good. This was a movie that was supposed to come out in 2023, but due to the writers/actors strike, it got pushed back, so movie releases will come out in the first half, maybe early part of 2024. So I enjoyed The Bike Riders. It was a film that I wasn't expecting much out of because I really didn't love the trailers. And the main girl, I can't think of her name on the top of my head, but I have to say, I always like her in everything I've ever seen her in, and once again, I like her in this. My number 4 is Fall Guy. Fall Guy was that movie with Emily Blunt, who is one of my favorite celebrity crushes right now, and Ryan Gosling. And I love Ryan Gosling. I've liked pretty much everything he's ever done, even his shitty movies. I even like Gangster Squad. Like, that's a dumb movie, but I like Ryan Gosling for some reason. And Emily, they have such a good chemistry with each other and also pays homage and shows what stuntmen actually do to make movies look a lot cooler than what they could be. And I think this movie does a great job, and I love the story. I love how, like, Aaron Taylor Johnson being the asshole dick of a villain or the celebrity character. I thought that was really cool. I hate that this movie did not make a lot of money, and when Hollywood and fans are like, we want more original movies, and you don't go see the good movies. Like, what's wrong with you, America? My number 3 is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I love this movie. Anya Taylor-Joy plays the character Furiosa that was played in Mad Max Fury Road by Charlize Theron. And it gives us kind of origin of how she left the Green Place and how she seeks her revenge. And Chris Hemsworth is probably the best thing I've ever seen him, other than the Thor movies, because he is comedic timing. It's great. I love how over the top he is, but in a good way. And the action, the stunt work, the car work, is it as good as Fury Road? No. But Fury Road is like one of the best action movies ever made, production-wise, and this one is great. And this is a movie that we're not going to get this in 20 years, 15 years, in 5 years. We're not going to see movies like Furiosa anymore. So I just think, I think Furiosa is great for that, and I love it. I will definitely watch it. I'll definitely add it into my Blu-ray collection, and I can't wait to watch it again one day. My number 2 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a sequel to the Rise of the Planet of the Apes series, which came out on 20th Century Fox back in the 2010s. So I'm glad that Disney picked this back up, and it's set about 300 years after the events of War for the Planet of the Apes, and the apes are kind of divided against each other. There's this one ape who's Caesar Proxima, which, once again, he is doing bad things, but you always have to think, is he right? I mean, he's like Cubans, and then also they had the girl that played Ciri from Witcher. She's in this movie, and she's out to get the apes, really. And even though she works with the main character, which I forget what his character's name, but I love the Eagle Clan. I thought that was a very interesting way to do to make all these apes separate from each other. So I thought that was really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Is it as good as the first story? I think it might be better than War for the Planet of the Apes, but I don't think it's better than Rise or Dawn. But man, I can't wait for the next one, because they set up some really cool stuff, and maybe we can see some really cool stuff with the apes going on. And my number 1 movie of 2024 is it's Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is an absolute masterpiece. Because I love the first Dune, but I felt like I didn't see the complete movie. After watching Dune 2, I felt like I watched a complete movie. And I think the cinematography is great. The world setting is great. The journey that Paul Atreides has to go through and realize that he may not want to do everything that he's supposed to do because a lot of people are going to die. But then he realizes I have to make this sacrifice, and how he like masters the voice, which really reminds me of like Elder Scrolls, or maybe this is based off Elder Scrolls. That's kind of cool. Silence! I just think Dune Part 2 is an absolute masterpiece. If you've not seen Dune, it's incredible. This is a movie that I need to add to my Blu-ray collection. It's a movie that, if it's not my number one movie of 2024, I will be shocked. And I'm not shocked that much. And this probably would have been my favorite movie of 2023 because this was originally supposed to come out in 2023. But I have to say, I'm glad it came out in 2020. I'm glad it came out eventually. And I'm looking forward to Part 3 whenever that comes out. So guys, those are my top 10 movies of 2024 so far. There are some really cool movies that I just talked about. There's some movies coming out in the second half of the year that I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, really the ones I can think of top of my head, Deadpool, Wolverine. I'm looking forward to seeing Quiet Place. The Joker 2. There's some cool movies that I know of, and there's some movies I don't even know are coming out. And that's the exciting part of 2020 of doing this video, is that there's a lot more waiting for me because we still have the Oscar movies. We still have the end of summer. We have those final movies, and then we also have the horrible August and September usually. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the movies so far this year, and I'm looking forward to reviewing much more movies and more videos in 2024 on Easy Nation. So guys, what is your favorite movie of 2024 so far? Where they are, comment below, let me know. And guys, if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and tell your friends about Easy Nation. All too easy.